I want to emphasize again, Tyler, if you have your own method of doing these and getting the right answer, as long as you're getting 100%, I'm fine with that. I know of a whole bunch of different ways to do this. What you'll find with my personality is if I have one method that works for everything, I'll just say, again, much like the Ring of Power in the Lord of the Rings, I'll use that one ring to rule them all. It's just so much more convenient. Gimmicks and shortcuts are nice, and if they are real time savers, every once in a while I'll spring one on you. But most of the time I'll say, you know what, we can solve this from first principles without memorizing a bunch of crap. I hate memorizing useless things. Okay? So this method of, well, let's do example 9. Example 9 says, okay, I've given you some conversion factors. How many centimeters in 1 mile? I guess they want me to change a mile into centimeters. Who remembers, what am I going to do first? What was the first thing I always did? Yeah. I'm going to write down 1, and the abbreviation for mile is MI. Why not lowercase m, meters? MIN, minutes. Now here's the problem. I don't know how many centimeters there are in a mile. Look at that chart that I gave you. What can I change miles into that might be useful? Gerard. How will feet help me? What can I change feet into that might be useful? I didn't include it in the chart. I'm gambling because you kind of have grown up close to the U.S. You might know this. I'm going to gamble most of you know how many inches in a foot. And how does inches help me get to centimeters? Ah, there it is. That's my chain. I'm going to go miles to feet to inches to centimeters. And again, the nice thing is I can use knowledge that I already know and what they've given me. I don't need to memorize some conversion factor. So, times fraction bar. All right, Colton, talk to me. What am I going to write on the bottom of this fraction? I know you're zoning out your back. I want to get rid of miles, so where is it going to go? I want to get rid of miles. Where's it going to go in my fraction? Why? Because right now miles is on the, looking for what? Yep. You with me? Okay. No? Yeah, I know. That's why I called you back, got you here. Okay? Right? Our strategy was, if I want to get rid of the unit that they gave me, if it was on the top, it went on the bottom in my conversion factor. If it was on the bottom, I haven't done one like that, it's going to go on the top. So right now, miles is on the top. It's going to go on the, right there. What can I change miles into from the chart? What can I change miles into from this chart? No, I can't. I can do miles to inches? No, what can I change miles into? There's only one option really that's going to work for me. What? I can change it into feet. Okay. So I'm going to put feet on the top. What's my conversion factor, Colton? How many feet? Sorry? Look at the chart, please. It's on the convert. You can see it. No. We're going feet and miles. What's the conversion factor? It's this one, my friend. How many feet? Which is such a stupid number. This is why the American system is so dumb. Is how many miles? Yep. Yes. Coming back to this is what we were doing yesterday. And now, Colton, my friend, I can cross out miles. If I stopped here, I'd be in feet. But we want to get to centimeters. Colton, what can I change feet into that might help me? Yes. Good. So, where is feet going to go? On the bottom. Inches is going to go on the top. How many inches is how many feet? What's my conversion factor? Yep. How does that help me? What can I change inches into? Yes, they gave me that factor, that conversion factor. So inches can go on the bottom. Centimeters can go on the top. Yes? And the conversion factor is what? 2.54 and 1. Am I going to times by 12? Am I going to times by 2? Anything on the top I multiply by. Anything on the bottom I divide by. You with me? Yeah, got your calculator out. Let's type this in. I ignore the ones because they don't change anything. So it's going to be 5,820. 5,820 times 12 times 2.54. And I get, yep. Read me the digits.
177,393.67.
1 mile is that many centimeters. What if they had said, instead of how many centimeters, how many, I don't know, decameters? Well, now that I've got centimeters, I can convert that to meters. I can convert that to whatever. So once I get it into any metric prefix, I can go from there into any other metric that I need to in one step. Why is number 10 tougher than number 9? Yeah. I got things on the top and on the bottom. I like this question. I like this question. I like this question. Why would I say that? Did you hear me say it's going to be on the test? You notice when a teacher tends to emphasize things? Good. First thing I want to teach you is slanty fractions like this are evil. I have to write them that way when I'm typing, but I always want a two-level fraction because I clearly, Cole, want to see what's on the top and what's on the bottom. I'm going to start out the same way. They want me to say, what is 60 miles an hour in meters per second? I'm going to write down what they gave me, which is 60, but I'm going to write it as MI, big line, over H, so you can clearly see what's on the top and what's on the bottom. Brian, we're going to do two things. We're going to change miles into meters, and we're going to change hours into seconds. We don't do them at the same time. Which one do you want to do first, Brian? Do you want to change miles to meters or hours to seconds? Okay. Does anybody know how many meters there are in a mile? What can I change miles into? What can I change? Sorry? Brian is correct and not correct at the same time. Brian, what could I change miles into if I was clever and remembering some questions that I had just done? And going from centimeters to meters is pretty straightforward. So if I didn't have that, I would go from feet to inches to centimeters to meters if I didn't have that. But since we have this sitting here, I think I yelled at you guys yesterday as well. Don't be scared to use an answer that you used previously. So I'm going to go like this. Where's miles going to go? Because it's on the originally. Yes. And centimeters. And my conversion factor is 177,393.6 to 1. Now, if I stopped here, that would be centimeters per hour. We're not done. What do we want our distance measurement to be, Brian? Not centimeters, but... Okay. So we need to get rid of centimeters and bring in meters. Now we're doing the metric thing from your green sheet, which I'm sure you have out in front of you on the back page, like I suggested. What's centi? 10 to the negative 2. Where does the 10 to the negative 2 go? Don't memorize top or bottom. It goes where the centi isn't. So in this case, the top. If I stopped here, that's meters per hour. What do we want? Meters per? Now let's deal with hours. Does anybody know how many hours are in a second? Sorry, how many seconds are in an hour? Okay, because Gerard remembered that there's 3,600, we can use that. If not, we would go 60 minutes, 60 seconds. But Gerard, here's the big difference. Where is hours in my original fraction? On the? So where is it going to be in my conversion factor? See it? What's going to be seconds? And you're telling me 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. Hours would cancel. Gerard, what are the only units left behind on the top? What are the only units left behind on the bottom? There is, if you set your chain up right, a built-in error check. I'd like to show you a big time saver. Everybody look up, please. Don't type ahead of me, type with me. Everybody, do you all still have this number sitting on your calculator? The 177,393.6. If you do, you've got a nice shortcut. I'm going to go 60 times, I'm going to hit my answer button. All of you have an answer button somewhere which will use the previous answer and save you a lot of typing. For most of you, it's going to be right next to the equal sign or shift right next to the equal sign. If you're a sharp, I think it's alpha equals, but all of you have an answer button, and I strongly encourage all of you to figure out where it is. So I'm going to pause. Huge time saver, especially when we're doing really long calculations. We'll use that very often. And then I guess times 10 to the power of negative 2 divided by 3,600. Now, I've done this so much, I have a little clever trick. I know that going from miles per hour to meters per second, it's roughly divide by 2 and a bit less. So without hitting equals, I'm guessing you're looking at a 26 or a 27 or a 28 point something. Am I correct? 29 point something? 29 point, yeah. It's roughly half and a little bit less. 29.6? Is that right? Yes? 60 miles per hour is about 29.6 meters every second. Convert 3,500 gallons to milliliters. Okay. Tyler, what am I going to do first? Okay, starting to get that? By the way, the only time I'll get grumpy on this is if you leave the question completely blank, because that means you couldn't even remember to write down what they gave you. Oh, come on, we can do that. So, what's the abbreviation for gallons, Tyler? Why can't I use a lowercase g? Yeah, gallons is GA. All right. Tyler, what can I change gallons into? I think from that chart up there, there's got to be something, I hope. Sorry? Quarts? And then what can I change quarts into? Oh, there you go. Gallons to quarts, and then I can get into liters, and then once I'm in metric, I can get to anything. Got our chain? Good. We know where we're going. Okay. Where's gallons going to go? On the top or on the bottom? And quarts, I'm guessing the abbrev is Q because there's not that many things that start with the letter Q. What's the conversion factor, Tyler? I've scrolled down. How many quarts is how many gallons? Just read it to me. Louder, I couldn't hear. 1.0567. Okay, try it again. How many quarts? 0.25 is 1 gallon? Okay. Oh, we got a latecomer coming in. Sorry. How many quarts to how many gallons? What am I going to write here next to quarts? It says 0.25 quarts. What am I going to write next to quart? And 0.25. Okay? So that's a sloppy mistake we don't want to do, right? That's preventable. Good catch. Then what? Oh, I can get rid of quarts and bring in liters. And I think I told you yesterday I always write my L cursive. How many liters is how many quarts? So what's the number next to the liters? 1.0567. And how many quarts? Probably 1? Okay. If I stop there, I'm in liters, but what do I want to be in, Tyler? Milliliters. We can do this. Now we're in the metric system. Milli from your formula sheet. 10 to the something. Good. Now, how's it going to be? Liters on the bottom to get it to cancel. Milliliters on the top, because that's what I want as my final units on top. Where does the 10 to the negative 3 go? Where the milli isn't, which in this case is on the... Yes. All right. Now it's just plug and chug. If it's on the top, we times. If it's on the bottom, we divide. I have no idea what the answer is here. Yeah.
I think the quarts to liters is
Quarts to liters is wrong? 1.0567? 1.0567? Oh. Wrong way. So got to read it to me carefully, my friend. Look at the units. 1 liter is 1.0567 quarts. Okay. Tyler, you see how we're getting those? Awesome. So now that you did that once, twice, you're not going to do it again, right? Right. Oh, I mean, right. Okay, so now we fixed it. What's on the top? We multiply. So I guess it's going to be 3,500. I guess times 1 times 1 times, I guess the rest is divided by 0.25, divided by 1.0567, and divided by 10 to the negative 3. Should be a big number, because I know a gallon is much bigger than a milliliter. You got the notes out from last, Nathan? Okay, you got your calculator and your green sheet out? You giving Colton an elbow just to make sure he's paying attention? Thank you. Did you get 1324879.3.41? Let's go to 3 sig figs. 132. Ooh, and I think I'm going to write it in scientific notation. So 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to write it as 1.32 times 10 to the 7th milliliters. Example 12, I like example 12, I like example 12. Example 12 is a nice question. This is a tough question. Why is this a tough question? Again, we've got a 2-level fraction. See it, Logan? We're going to write it as a clear 2-level fraction. 6.12 kilometers over hours. Josh, what does it want me to get my final units as? What does it want the final units to be? Per? Okay. We're going to have to change kilometers into millimeters, and we're going to have to change hours into, which one do you want to do first? Okay, so how are we going to do that? First, we got to get rid of kilometers. Um, 10 to the what? Yeah, I'm asking you. In other words, you got to be following along, not just writing down mindlessly. Which metric prefix are we dealing with, Josh? Which metric prefix are we dealing with? Kilo. Right? 10 to the what? Yes. Good. Where does the 10 to the 3 go? Where the kilo isn't. Now, if we stopped here, we'd be in meters. But what do we want to be in? Millimeters. So we're going to go meters cancels, millimeters on the top. But again, we need to bring in the 10 to the... Milli is 10 to the... Where's that going to go? Yes. Okay, now we're in millimeters per hour. We want to be in millimeters per minute. Can you change hours to minutes? Yeah, okay. Where is hours going to go in my conversion factor? Because originally it was on the good. And I guess minutes is going to go down there. And I guess it's 1 hour. How many minutes in an hour? You've memorized that without even trying. There's the answer. Get your calculator out. Try typing that in. Again, let me emphasize, if you aren't typing these into your calculator, again, let me emphasize, if you aren't typing these into your calculator, again, let me really emphasize, if you aren't typing these into your calculator, A, I'll call you on it, but B, you're wasting learning opportunities. It drives me crazy. Every year I have some kid on the test who has all the right numbers and all the wrong answers. And it's because they were too lazy and, I'll say it, dumb to bother following along in class. You're here, type. You may as well do that. Do you get 0.102? Or did I make a typo? I put 6.12 times 10 to the 3. I missed a negative 3, Mr. Dewick. That's what I missed. The negative didn't kick in. Is it 102,000?
Yes.
There you go. One more yucky one. Convert 4,356 terameters per year to kilometers per hour. Ella, we can do this. What's the first thing I'm going to do? Yeah, well. And I'll write it as a 2-level fraction because then I can clearly see what's on the top, what's on the bottom. Remember, the proper abbrev for year is A annually. I got to get rid of terameters to kilometers. I got to change years to hours. Which one do you want to do first, Ella? I don't care. Pick. Oh! How many hours in a year?
3,000.
I don't know. Go look, go look, go look, go look, go look. Now, if I didn't have that handy, I would go to days and then to hours. It was 8,000 something, wasn't it?
8,760.
So I can go 1 year is 8,760. Hey, I saved myself some time, and I'm already in terameters per hour. But I want to get kilometers per hour. I'm going to get rid of tera and bring in kilo. 2 steps. Where's tera going to go? On the bottom. Meters on the top. Tera is 10 to the 10 to the 12? But now I want to get rid of meters and bring in kilo, which is 10 to the 3, and that's going to go on the, yep. Hopefully we're at the stage now where this is becoming almost repetitive and boring. If I get you there, good. Then it's plug and chug. 4,356 times 10 to the 12th divided by 8,760 and divided by 10 to the 3rd. Is that right? 497260? That seems too big to me. No, maybe not. It's Tera's. Okay. Is that right? I got 497260274. You got anybody else? Yeah? Okay. I don't want to write all that. I'm going to go 4.97 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got something different? Am I wrong?
No.
We're good? Yeah, I haven't finished writing yet. I just see people shaking their heads. I'm trying to read the vibe. Okay. This unit conversion, dimensional analysis, building a fraction chain, Oliver, works for anything. Works for anything. Let's spend some money. Pardon me? It was, you know what? I'll be clever. Yeah, but I can do this in the notes, and that way when people are looking at home, they can see what I typed on my calculator, right? Ooh! That's pretty cool, Mr. Dewick. The largest lottery win in history in the U.S. was Mavis Wanchik. In 2017, she won $758.7 million in the Powerball lottery. I'm going to imagine all of you at least once or twice have wondered what it would be like to win a lot of money. Now, this is a lot of money, almost $1 billion. Let's spend it. First question. Suppose she spends $1,000 a day. How many years will it take for her to spend the money? Convince me. Let's calculate. You know what I'm going to do first? Write down what they gave me, which is $758.7 million. Million is 10 to the 6th, and it's less writing, so I'm just going to do that. Okay? And what I'm going to do first is divide this by $1,000 per day, because that's going to give me an answer how many days this would take. So on my calculator, I'm going to go 758.7 times 10 to the 6th. And on my calculator, and when I say my, you're also doing it on your calculator. Right? Right? How many days will it take her to spend this money if she spends $1,000 a day? I get 758,700. Now that's days. What do I want to convert days into? How many days are in a year? Okay, where is days going to go in my conversion factor? Years is going to go on the top, and it's 1 year is 365. Do I times by 365 or do I divide? This answers the question for me. I clearly divide. So on your calculator, you know what? You can just use your answer button. In fact, if you just hit divided by, most of your calculators will put the answer button there for you. How many years? Can she do that in her lifetime? So let's spend it faster. Yes? Okay. Instead of $1,000 per day, $500 per hour. 24/7. Okay. We'll write down what they gave me, which was $758.7 million times 10. And I'm going to divide it by 500 so I can figure out how many hours this will be. 758.7 times 10 to the 6th divided by 500. What'd you get? Brian? Type it in again. 758.7 times 10 to the power of 6 divided by 500. Y'all get 1517400? 1517400. Now that's hours. I'd like to convert that to years. How many hours are in a year? Oh, it was 8 something. 1 year, 8,760? Okay. Can she do this in her lifetime? Nope. 173 years? Yes. Jesse, we got to spend the money faster. Actually, She chose, instead of receiving, normally when you win a lottery, what they do, Colton, is they pay you the prize in installments over 20 years, or you can take a smaller amount up front. So she chose to take the single payment of $480.5 million up front. Why might you take the smaller amount up front instead of the installments over years? Yeah. What if you die? Okay. And people kind of, I want the money now. So, okay, what if she spends $10 every minute? Can she spend the money in her lifetime? Well, let's write down what they gave me. This time it's 480.5 times 10 to the 6th. And I'm going to divide it by $10 per minute, because that's going to tell me how many minutes. And I get 4805 and 4 zeros. Four zeros. That's minutes. How can I change minutes to years? Well, I can't. But I can change minutes to what? And I can change hours to years. I know where I'm going. Let's build our chain. Minutes on the bottom. Hours on the top. 1 hour is 60 minutes. And then hours on the bottom, years on the top. 1 year is 8,760 hours. Am I going to times by 60 or divide? It's on the bottom. I'm going to divide. It answers the question for me. Divided by 60, divided by 8,007. And I'm using my answer button again, because why not? What do you get? Don't think so. You might have hit a times somewhere. I'm getting 91.4, which, while that's within the span of a human lifetime, that would only work if you won as a toddler. Well, it really goes to say millions of dollars is a huge amount. Billionaires are ridiculously wealthy, and your mind cannot grasp how much money that is. Because this is basically spending nonstop, Colton, and you're still not going to be able to do it before you die. Pardon me? And that's why often billionaires buy large stuff. Okay? Bill Gates is planning, for example, on giving most of his money to charity. It's tougher than he's anticipating because he's making money faster than he can give it away for a while there. Just because you want to give it away to a good charity, well, that takes some research, that takes some planning. Yeah. Enrico Fermi was a physicist. Turn the page or next page over. And he would often ask his students to solve a problem by making reasonable assumptions about unknown data. For example, he was very, very, very good at, if you asked him a question, he would give you an answer, and he would be within an order of magnitude of the real answer, just by thinking about it. What does an order of magnitude mean? If you write a number in scientific notation, he would have the times 10 to the power. That's all he cared about. Let me give you a famous example. He was at the Trinity test. Does anybody know what the Trinity test was? He was part of the first nuclear bomb team, the Manhattan Project. He was at the first time they exploded an atomic device. And he stood with a piece of paper like this. And when the shock wave hit him, he let the paper drop and it fluttered behind him. And looking at the distance, and he made an estimate as to how strong the bomb was. And it turns out he was right with the times 10 to the. That's all he cared about. He was famous for those. They're called Fermi Problems. Put your pencils down, look up. Pause the video. Back to the notes, please. Another Twitter thread. Can you spot the error? It says this. Would you rather get paid $1 million right now or $50 every month for the rest of your life? I'll take option B. That's what passive income is. Find a way to make passive income, this person was saying. It'll change your life. 600 a year? He went 50 times 12. How many years might you live? Can you go 600 times 80 on your calculators, please? What'd you get? So would you rather get paid $1 million right now or $50? This person doesn't know what this was a financial advisor trying to convince people. This is an idiot. I blanked out the name. I didn't want to damage their reputation. Idiot. Stupid. Easy math, but this got thousands of retweets. Yeah, absolutely, people said. Drives me cray-cray. Lovely Twitter thread. Some days I'm just so tired, so I do it tired. I don't pressure myself to make it perfect. As long as I just show up, I don't dedicate an hour every day. Says this, 20 minutes of exercise every day equals over 1,000 hours of exercise a year. Does it? Well, 20 minutes a day, that's an hour every 3 days. Yes? So how could you? It would be 365 divided by 3. What did this person do? 365 times 3. They got the numbers. Oh, you multiply! No, you don't. This one went crazy. Man. Because people suck at math. Sorry, but a large number of people are just bad at math. This one bothered me. Why is this impossible? I took this from an actual, it was a label of a product online. What's wrong with this? What? Tony, you just spotted it. What?
The thing is shorter than the book.
How can 7.28 inches be shorter than 5.1? You guys have screwed up. I don't know what you're doing, but don't buy from this company. This is all over the place. I gotta calm down, Mr. Duick.